Good evening. Yeah, okay, it's come. Yes. Good evening and welcome to another session of Samvad. We have Karthik Moorthy this side from Bombay. He's a chartered accountant and he's going to tell us a little bit about how he rectified the balance sheet of his life. So, being a CA, I'm going to try my luck to sound intelligent around him. But it's been a pleasure. I've been interacting with him for a little while now. And Karthik, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Mallar. The first things first, I would like to thank Dr. Tripathi, Dr. Malhar for all the guidance that you people have given to, tell us what is the right way of living. Um, in fact, so I was basically diagnosed, or I got to know that I have got diabetes somewhere in 2019, but I thought it's just a phase and I kind of ignored it. And somewhere in 2020 is where I started getting a few rashes on my body. I got a little concerned. So there's this homeopath doctor that I, generally consult. So I just messaged him. I told him that this is the problem I'm facing. So what do you think? So he's like, just go and check your blood sugar levels. And when I checked my sugar levels, it was crazy. My fasting was 225. My PP was 325. So, and I was just about 39 then. So I was very surprised because my lifestyle was not as if it was very bad. I used to go to the gym. I used to have I'm a vegetarian. So food intake wise also was pretty fine. But after doing this blood test, I also, I then immediately what you do is go to a GP and he told you things which later on we realized we shouldn't be doing. So he, of course, gave me the medicines and then, okay, have this 45-minute walk and then have a glass of milk in the night and so on and so forth. You do that because I think being people from the non-medical background, we just go by the advice that is given. So that I did. And then I was just not happy with this medicine thing because what is always being told to us is that once you start having diabetes medicine, you have to continue it for life. And I didn't want to do that. So I again messaged that homeopath. I told him, is there a homeopathic medicine that will help me? Because for some reason, homeopathic medicine, when you have it, doesn't seem like you're having medicines. So just happy having that.
It also helps that it helps that it's sweet.
Yeah. So he asked me to just check out on FFT. He didn't know much about it, but he's like, just check what it is. So I immediately logged on to the site and I registered for the course. I think it was somewhere on 6th of December, if I'm not wrong, 2020. And so Dr. Tripathi explained many things to me, most of which I didn't understand. But main thing, what I realized was that what I was doing was wrong. So I joined the course somewhere on 8th of December. And thereafter, I got free of medicines on 15th of January, 2021. So since then, I haven't popped a pill.
So what do you think has been the main contributor to the, what part of the protocol have you found that you were able to do relatively easy?
Relatively easy. It is actually, everything was different. I won't say difficult. Everything was different because that is not the kind of lifestyle I was living, like the smoothie, the measurement of the portion control on food. Exercise I was doing definitely, but it was different. Nothing was difficult, nothing was easy, but it was different. I think what this has done is brought out a mindset change for me, for sure. So even now, when I go out and eat, I am very conscious of the portion of what I'm eating, and this has given me this tremendous knowledge. I kind of look at the food and I know what is in that. ये किससे बना है?
So you become a food quant.
So I audit it now, before I have it.
So, no, but tell me one thing. Tell me from a perspective of when we say transformation, a lot of people are still confused. They keep thinking, "Dawai band ho gaya" means in their mind it's become a cure, or their reversal is their HbA1c came down. So at what point would you say that you feel transformed? Because we keep telling people the goal, like you said, it is a change in the mindset. Only then you're free from diabetes. It's not just about medicines or about bringing down the A1C. When we say transformation, like this program is now called the Holistic Transformational Program. I think people are still confused on what that is. So, like, you keep saying that you have had a total shift.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to elaborate on the concept of that shift. What have you actually felt in you that is not short-term transactional anymore? Okay, I give up milk, my sugars will come down. It's not that transactional. So,
Yeah. So I think there are three things broadly that I can think of. One is the food. I mean, like they say, the fuel that goes into the body, you take care of the input, the output is taken care of. What you have is something now I have fair knowledge of what is the impact of that on the blood sugar levels. The second is the discipline that is brought into me with regard to my exercise. Now, typically when people just approach their middle age, which is what I think now I am. So we tend to feel, we don't want to get older, but we are not younger anymore. So we tend to go for our gymming and, 4 days of gym and, have those protein shakes, sometimes the BCAAs and so on, the whey proteins and so on and so forth. Um, that has definitely changed because what I know now is the 3-1. Why the 3-1? That why the answer I got from FFD. Otherwise, you generally you go to one gym, he will tell you do these exercise. You go to the second gym, he will tell you the some other exercise. Now, the entire IRP program that I was part of, it was clearly explained to us that why you have to do weight training or muscle building on 3 days, why you have to do yoga on 2 days, why cardio on 1 day, and if you change it significantly, if you do 5 days cardio, then what happens? So this is the kind of knowledge that has in a way transformed. In fact, and the third thing I would actually come to is the temperamental aspect of it. So I am in a field where there's quite a lot of stress. So I have been able to reduce. I'm emphasizing on the word reduce. I've not been able to eliminate my temperamental issues because I think it's a journey. It's not a destination. So I'm getting there, and I'm it's every day I try to get better at that. Because you ask my family, they will not agree with me.
One less thing to think about. At least you don't have to think about the sugars as a trigger.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. So in fact, I'll just give you an example. The day you messaged me, I remember I was in Mathura, and what is Mathura famous for is pedas, and I didn't stop. It's I had the numbers that I was comfortable with. It was not excessive, but I had whatever I wanted to have, how many ever pedas I wanted to have, and after that, I did my blood test. It was not excessively high. It was a little on the higher range, but it's something that I had already bargained for when I was popping that peda in. So that has been, over the multiple aspects that I mentioned, the knowledge about food, the knowledge about exercise, the knowledge about how you want to, change your temperament. These are the things which have really, what I would call have been transformational for me.
The fear,
in fact, anything. Yeah, sorry. So in fact,
the fear reduces, or your fear of food has reduced.
Exactly. And if you're doing something wrong, you know that. I think that knowledge was not there earlier on. You just if you like something, you should probably have 2-3 bowls of it. Now we restrict ourselves at maybe half a bowl, 3/4, or probably 1 bowl, and that's about it. So you're satisfying your hunger as well as satisfying your keenness to have that kind of special food that you're looking for.
Yeah,
So
like with once in one of the articles I'd written that diabetes is primarily a dietary inconvenience.
yeah,
It's a little
absolutely
bit of mental adjustment that, okay, I can't go hammer and tongs at the carbs, but
correct,
the other two food groups also can't go hammer and tongs if I'm not working out. So
correct.
I think something that I think you must have appreciated through the program was, that what happens in a conventional setup is you go to your doctor when you're diagnosed. He tells you go get some diet in place. So you go to a dietitian. The dietitian now tells you, okay, I'm doing the diet. Then you go to a gym. The gym trainer has his own thing. So eventually there's a concept called Vikos, which means who is captain of the ship. And nobody talks to each other. And this is unfortunately, it's just evolved that way. It's not been by design. So it's
Correct,
nobody's fault. So what we
correct.
have sat down and tried to do is essentially create a captaincy model, which is a little like Ganguly and Dravid and, so a little changing captaincy.
Correct.
Initially the doctor is more of the captain while the medicines play the main play. Then slowly the dietitian takes over during the phase 2. Then you
Mhm.
have the exercise who takes over. So, what we call the 10-foot खड्डा model. वो 3
Mhm.
फुट के खड्डे खोदने से पानी नहीं मिलता है. So you
Mhm.
gotta go 10 feet. But what we find maximum, especially in intelligentsia like yourself, is the knowledge transfer. And I
Correct.
think people think that Googling can substitute, you know, the real knowledge spent with, people who, like you said, you did your CA. I'm sure you went to the best classes in the world.
Mhm.
And to crack an exam which is below 1% success rate,
Mhm.
it's not just intelligence. There must have been some guidance also.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely,
I think one of your appreciative things must be that the sheer program design would have
absolutely.
been, very, very, because it's been a lot of trial and error. It's not been overnight. It's been 9-10 years of, because to keep up with, like I say, to keep up with someone of that intelligence.
Mhm.
And again, like you said, there is always shortage of patience because we think this is a button I can press and solve it. But,
Exactly.
but now, like, do you feel more confident now going forward? What about the athletic goals? How have those been?
So athletic wise, so I opted for cycling. It's something that I had, I had liked, but again, it's coming to direction is what FFT gave. Now, there were goals that were set during, you have to write down your goals and you have to put it up on a poster and all those things. Those, sometimes you just have to not think and just follow. So that's what is IRP is all about. You don't apply your mind. Someone's already done that for you. So
Yeah.
just follow it. So I had set up this goal. I stay a little about 30 odd kilometers away from Gateway of India. So my goal I had set is go on a cycle there. I achieved that about 3 or 4 months back. And so from there on, it's the, consistently cycling once a week, restricted to once a week. And the rest of the times, you know, do the weight training. Don't exaggerate on the cycling also. I think that is, don't overemphasize on cardio is again something that
It was new. It was new.
you have
For
you
all
have
the
taught.
people watching, if you want to know why, join the program, because if I tell you that now, you'll use one solution and forget about everything else. And you'll stop outputting those calories also. So let's not go into the whys of less cardio, because it's the biggest myth in the
Hmm,
history of diabetes that you go and walk every day, do
correct.
cardio every day. Oh my God, you can't imagine the number of people who come here in the first month and say, why didn't anybody tell us not to walk? It
Yeah.
was so simple. Like, yeah, it was that simple. But are you feeling stronger now?
Absolutely. Stronger, leaner. Just to give you an example, before joining FFD, I don't think I was fat exactly, but there were trousers that I couldn't get into.
Yeah.
Now those have become loose,
Madhya
and
Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh had some liability.
absolutely, and there is honestly still a lot of scope.
That's okay.
So
Like you
yeah,
said, many more miles to walk. So that's not a worry.
right.
That's
Yeah,
always
it's
going
it's
on.
a
No.
journey. It's not a destination.
Absolutely. No, I think the more people accept that diabetes is also not a destination. Reversal is not a destination.
Right.
The journey. And I think you would, in addition to the words that you used, I think one word is very important, which is fitter, leaner, and wiser.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that knowledge gives a lot of confidence. That's what we have seen in people. That I think seeing in you also. I think the eyes become a little more stable. You're no longer searching for something.
Yeah.
If you notice that in Marathi, it's called sthirta. A person becomes a little chill. Like, I've got this under control. Otherwise, there's a little hesitation, about what to say yes to and what to say no to. No, but Karthik, awesome. Any passing words for people watching? Anything you want to share?
I think the FFD team has, first of all, invested so much time and effort into this. They are, the team, because of the knowledge that they have gained, they're imparting that knowledge to everyone. They're doing a wonderful job of not just touching people, but enriching people's lives. People who are watching this, you should join this program, even if you are not diabetic, but from a transformational perspective, this program is immensely impactful. So that's all I would like to end this at. Thanks, Dr. Mallar, for your time, and thanks to Dr. Tripathi and the entire FFD team. You've been of great support in the entire journey, and so we try to be ambassadors of FFD wherever we go. And diabetes was something that people would not like to earlier talk about. Okay, I have diabetes and so on and so forth. Now we can proudly say that
badge of honor now.
We've conquered it.
I was diabetic. No, but as I made a meme once, I said FFD participants now go to parks not to walk, but to find people to tell them. So to find diabetics, not to cure it. But no, it's awesome. Karthik, keep up the good work. And my last parting message to you would be, which is something that came from one of the Samvads. I think one of the guys in the US, he said, the best part of this program was I stopped asking the wrong question, which is what is good for diabetes and what is bad for diabetes. And I started asking a more relevant question, which is what is good for me?
Yeah.
What is right for me? So if rice doesn't work for me, doesn't mean rice doesn't work for diabetes. Yeah. Rice doesn't work for you. So I think that wiser bit, if a lot of people who are seeking solutions realize that over a period of a lot of people ask us, why 1 year? Why 1 year? Why not 3 months? So many people do reversal in 3 months. Some of the great institutions in the US also do 3 months. Okay. There are 1 week courses also. But, end of the day, we find that knowledge takes 3 months, wisdom takes another 3 months, but implementation takes 6 months. It's very easy to get wise and get knowledge and suddenly think you're running with it. But by the time you finish implementing and actually adapt all that, it takes a year. And it's difficult for us to explain to people that, we can very well make this into an assembly line. In 3 months, pull people in, stop medicines, do different gymnastics and bye-bye. But we take you on for 1 year for a reason, and my hope is people understand that 3 to 4 quarters in a row, your A1C has to be under control. Then you are reversed. It's not a flash in the pan, Otherwise, that's like a T20. It's got to be it can't be an IPL season.
Yeah. I think the main thing here is, the 3 month, 6 month thing that you mentioned, at the end of 1 year, it becomes a habit. Yeah, the food, the way we have it becomes a habit. Anything else seems wrong. Yeah. I think that is the reason I think 1 year seems very
it takes the right time. It takes a time because it's 40 years or 35 years of habit which was set in. All of us, we are all a certain economic strata. So we are used to food is typically entertainment. It's a source of endorphin, it's dopamine. So you feel great when you eat that. But after a while, rationality has to kick in that we are not sweet 16 anymore, right? So, and then again, there's a lot at stake. There's 40 years more at stake. And, that the medicines can just keep increasing, the kidneys, everything's at stake. So I think it's great to see. Karthik, keep up the good work, and mentoring is going on?
Honestly, something I would like to work doesn't permit, but nevertheless, mentoring is happening in other forum. You talk to friends who are not in the best of shapes, tell them, okay, there is a course you might just look at.
That's evangelizing. We have a lot of evangelists. That's good. See, we know everything that the community does. We know everything, but I just wish we had easier and better ways because, when offline was there, we used to meet people. Now, unfortunately, that said, let's hope in the next couple of years, the clubs thing expands and, we are able to meet more and more people. So, thank you so much, Karthik, for
Thank you so
coming on
much.
board, and keep up the good work.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mallar. Thank you. Bye. Bye.